Where are we at with the announcement of the album?
That is coming.
Okay.
My lips are sealed
Oh.
with the details of that. We're going to start off with Higher Power,
Yeah.
and I can definitely assure you that there is more to come and an album to come.
We've got an Audacy check-in with a guy that's near and dear to my heart. Both of us Orlando dudes. I was there from day one when Creed was playing in front of 2,200 people at the Hard Rock and even smaller crowds before that. And now fast forward all these years, and Scott Stapp is not only an amazing solo artist, but just an icon in the rock business, was selling well over 53 million albums between Creed and his solo stuff. And we've got this new single, Higher Power, that I got to tell you, Scott, maybe some of your best work, my brother. How are you?
Thank you so much, man. And thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no, Higher Power, dude. I know this is, we'll get into it all, but it's a product of COVID and being indoors and all that stuff. But this is a very, very powerful song. I mean, real powerful. When people hear it, they're going to want to go back and hear it again to make sure that they understand all of the lyrics. I'm assuming it was meant to be that, right?
I'm very lyric focused.
Yeah.
And it definitely was meant to be that way. And you know, the song is actually, in reality, the writing of it began during an experience I had in 2006. And so that's kind of the basis of where the lyrics were born. And a good friend of mine and co-writer and producer, Scott Stevens, who I've been working with for years now, and we've developed a friendship, and he knows my story, and we've shared so much together during our other songwriting sessions that you know, he knew the story, and I had shared it with him so much, and he came to me and he said, "Hey man, I've got an idea. Come to the studio." And so I went to the studio. He had a music bed and some lyrics bouncing around based on our conversations over the years. And then we wrapped it up together. And it really, really conveyed the message that I'm trying to live today and am living today.
Do you mind if I ask what, you said it 2006, there's something that happened. Do you mind if I ask what it was that happened that started to inspire Higher Power?
I shared that in my book, Sinner's Creed. I had a fall. And I shouldn't have survived it. And during that fall, I had a real, during the accident and after, I had a real come to Jesus moment in my life. But it's been a long process because it's so hard, I found, to unlearn behavior and relearn new behavior. And it takes a daily commitment. And sometimes you're going to stumble. Sometimes you're going to go years on the right path, and then boom, you're going to fall. But it's all about getting back up, using that as a lesson learned to help build your character strength, so you can not only be a better human being, but continue to move forward. And with the platform that I've been given, try my best to share those experiences and messages to help others who may be going through the same things.
And you're talking about mental health and try to find the right path. What ways do you think talking about it in these different topics can help others, and what kind of feedback do you get from your fan base?
Well, I think the way that you can talk about addiction, alcoholism, mental health issues, other struggles in life that people go through, and losing loved ones. I think just sharing the human experience and sharing what we deal with in life through song, and sharing my way that I learned to get through it. It may not work for everyone, but it worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just try to continue to point people to something greater than themselves, higher power, because that's what's gotten me through all of this. And of course, the love and support of family and friends, because that's all part of it. But I think sharing that lets people feel like they're not alone out there.
Right.
And that's the message that I've heard from fans is, "Hey man, I connect with you because I'm going through an experience right now, and your music came on and it connected with me, and I felt it. And it inspired me to to make it 24 hours more, to make it one more week, to keep going, keep surviving, keep living. And that's what I really feel like I've been put here on this earth to do. And it's a difficult calling, so to speak, because unfortunately I've had to learn a lot of life lessons the hard way and very much in the public eye. Yeah. But I own that. And I don't live in that house anymore. I've moved. And so here we are today.
The fourth album, your solo stuff, which Higher Power is on, not many details on it. So is it like still no title, we don't have a release date, still trying to figure out what we're putting on the album? Like I'm a part of this, but what you're going to put on the album, where are we at with the announcement of the album?
That is coming. Okay. My lips are sealed with the details of that. We're going to start off with Higher Power. Yeah. And I can definitely assure you that there is more to come and an album to come. Yeah. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
So a sold-out Creed reunion cruise is going to take place. How did that come about?
That was something I think managers were talking about for a long time before the artists were approached. And so then we were approached and everyone signed on. Thought it would be a good way to kind of kick things off and see what happens. We don't have anything planned after that right now. It's baby steps. But you know what? Relationships were positive. We support each other. And so we'll see what happens from there. But right now, I'm just excited to get back on stage with those guys and respect them all so much. And can't wait to have a good time on that cruise and play some Creed tunes.
Well, will you play any of your solo stuff like Higher Power, or is that like a no-no?
I'm sure it's not a no-no, but it's a Creed-focused cruise. So we're going to focus on Creed.
Gotcha.
On that cruise.
Okay, gotcha. Will there be at least, you could probably handle this one, right? Like a solo tour for the upcoming album. Do you have that in the works?
Yes, we do. Okay. We have that in the works, and announcements will be forthcoming.
Okay. All right. So everything's kind of secret right now, other than the song. The album's secret. The tour is secret. Is it going to be a world tour, U.S. tour? You're not even going to answer that, Bet. I bet you're not going to answer that, are you?
Hey, I'm just going to let things unfold and take it one day at a time.
ScottStapp.com is the website. You can get updates, of course, for these tours, the cruise thing sold, but Creed possibly doing a couple dates afterwards. And, of course, Scott's going to go out in support of the fourth studio album for Higher Power.
Let me give a quick shout out to Marty Fredrickson, who co-produced the song with Scott Stevens. Let me give a shout out to Chris Baseford, who mixed the track and did an incredible job. And let me give a shout out to Ted Jensen, who mastered it. We're not alone in this. We're a team. Yeah. And they deserve a tremendous amount of credit for any positive attention that this song received.